Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the brands that I buy, the brands that I don't buy, and the brands that I sometimes buy to resell. One of my resolutions this year was to invest more in my business and know more about my business and to make it a true business and not just go at it by the seat of my pants. So one of the first things I wanted to do is I wanted to go through the closet. I wanted to go through some of the brands, and I wanted to find out what my sell-through rate was on those brands and what my average sales price was on those brands. Because this year I want to up my average sale price to well over $35, $40 because that will increase my earnings as long as I keep my cost of goods in around the same. And that's what I want to do. So let's look at the numbers. Brands that had a sell-through rate of nothing or well below, we're going to say 50%, are brands that I probably will not buy ever again, except for, unless, for instance, my sell-through rate on Banana Republic was only 43% because I don't pick it up a lot, but what I have picked up hasn't sold all yet. But my average sale price for what sold was $29, which is more in the range where I want to be. So it is a brand that I probably wouldn't be picking up anyway. I don't pick it up unless I get it for really, really inexpensive, like under $5. So it's one of those brands. That's a brand that I probably won't be picking up. Another brand that I will not probably, I shouldn't say would not probably, then that would be in my sometimes, right? So let's actually talk about what I never pick up, because that's really what we're here for. I will never pick up brands like Shein, brands like Forever 21. And for those, part of it is their reputation of being fast fashion, or they're just their crap quality. For Forever 21, the average sale price is well below $20. So for me, there's no money in there, so I'm not going to be picking it up. Even though I own a Forever 21, I own a couple of items, and whenever I wear the one, it's black, it's floral, it's beautiful. People always stop me and say how cute it is. So it always makes me wonder, why am I not selling it? But average sale price is less than $20. It's not worth it for me. Other brands that I will no longer be picking up to resell are White House Black Market, because that sell-through rate is like crap. And BB Dakota, again, not a good brand for me at all. I don't know if it sells for you. I haven't picked that up for a while. And another one is Alice and Olivia. Now, to be fair to Alice and Olivia, I've only had 2 pieces, and they both are taking forever. Like the first one has sold, but it took forever. And the second one that I picked up is taking forever to sell. So obviously I don't have access to the right styles with that brand. So I think that brand specifically is one I might look up if I found it again. I'd look up the comps on that item. Those are the brands I'm not buying, not picking them up. You do what you want to do. I don't know if you have any luck with those brands. Let me know down in the comments below if you do. Now, back to the ones that are probably maybes. I will probably and maybe pick up American Eagle, because my sell-through rate is pretty good on that, but it's not a good average sale price for me. The ones that surprised me was Lucky Brand. My sell-through rate was over 70%, which is pretty good. And my average sale price was, mid-20s, which is not great. However, the last piece of Lucky Brand that I bought, because this is a brand that I said, nope, never buying, nope, doesn't sell for me. And back in September, I bought a men's Lucky Brand sweater, 100% cotton, chunky knit. It was a really nice sweater, sold for $45. So I'm thinking I will look at the men's, and maybe Lucky Brand's great for men's. Maybe the market isn't saturated, and maybe that helps. So that's something that I will look closer at. And I want to bring in more men's items anyway, so the more I know about the men's brands, the better. So I would look for Lucky Brand in men's. Sometimes I would always do the comps for that. Another brand I was a little surprised about as a sometimes maybe is Lululemon, because sell-through rate was okay, average sale price, bread and butter type area, and unfortunately they mark it way up in this area, and I have found fakes here, so I'm a little more leery to pick it up. And Lululemon and I have never really gotten along because I've just not had access to the really great styles that people tend to sell for a lot of money. And that's okay. But that is a maybe sometimes, depending. Aritzia brands and Anthropologie, depending on the actual brand and material and price and everything, is a sometimes, because their average sale price is a little bit higher. So that's not bad. But the one brand that totally floored me, because I could have sworn to you that it was my best-selling brand. It's something I would always pick up. It's something I always sourced. And that was Torrid. And I found out doing my numbers that Torrid runs in my bread and butter sort of area, between sales price between $20 and $30. The average sale price was, mid to higher 20s, which is not great, but to me that's a bread and butter. I find that they mark up Torrid here in this area, so there's no wiggle room. I'm not buying a Torrid t-shirt for $8 to $10 to sell it for $15. It's just not got the amount of profit there for me. But I sell a lot of Torrid, so I'd much rather have a sale at $25 than no sale at all. I think the problem for me with my sell-through rate is that I was picking up all the time. So I had so much Torrid, too much. And I wasn't paying attention to style or, to the age of the garment. So now I concentrate on anything 2019 and newer. And Torrid's got a really great, they have a tag that tells you the cut date, which will tell you the date it was cut. And you can go by that. So now I've just started to be more particular with what I pick up with that brand. I do not pick up every single thing I see. And I pay attention to the cost of goods a little bit more on this item, since the average sale price is not as high as I had thought. So going forward, I hope that Torrid comes up in my sell-through rate, because it's a brand I love to sell. Now, there is about 4 brands that I will say that I will always pick up. And that, of course, condition is good, cost of goods is good. And yeah, so when I say always, take that, with a little tiny grain of salt. The first brand is a men's brand. It is a Canadian brand called 7 Downey Street. They make really cool dress shirts with the flip cuff, very Robert Grahamish in some ways. But they're a Canadian brand. They don't sell for huge money, but the average sale price for me was mid-30s, which is much more to where I want to be. And my sell-through rate is almost 80%, which I think is pretty good. And it is a brand that when I find it, I go, wow, I'm happy to find it. And I might look up comps depending on the size and the pattern. The weirder the pattern seems to be, the better. The next brand, and you might be surprised by this, and it's a brand that I actually want to do a sell-through rate on Poshmark in general, because it might be oversaturated. But for me, Free People has my highest sell-through rate. It's well in the 90s, but to qualify that, I don't find it a lot. It's not like it's an everyday occurrence in my thrift stores. And that's how it's been since I started reselling. So even before we moved, I would not find it a lot. But when I find it, it sells, So I have like one item left in my closet and it hasn't sold yet. So I think I'm going to tweak it and retake the photos. And it's more of a summary type thing. And I'm going to relist it closer to springtime. But the average sale price with Free People is higher. It's in the mid-30s, which again is where I want to be. So if I see Free People, I'll be picking it up. Second last one is Levi's. Levi's is a great brand. Give me some vintage Levi's. I would very much appreciate that. I want to put that out in the universe to send me some vintage Levi's. But Levi's in general sells really well for me. The sale price average sale price is higher. Usually it's the jeans, not I think I have a coat, a Levi like jacket, and that hasn't sold yet, but the jeans, I've sold a corduroy jacket, things like that. So Levi's is something that I will intentionally go looking for now. I realize that I haven't been listing a lot of jeans, so I purposely went into the thrift store to look at jeans the other day. I don't think I found anything, but that's what I did. And I think sometimes you have to be intentional with what you want to find and what you need to find, and then it will come to you. You'll find it because you're looking for it. Now, the last brand isn't really a brand, but the last brand is vintage clothing. Now, my sell-through rate on vintage clothing is below 50, but my average sales price is above 40. So I feel that if I am very particular with what vintage items I pick up, they tend to take longer to sell. I believe that they are waiting for the right person to see them. So I will still pick up vintage clothing as long as it fits the criteria, that's in good condition, that it's different enough that it would wait for the right person, and it's of a good quality fabric like cashmere, silk, wool. I mean, I just picked up a vintage Nina Ricci wool suit dress. It's freaking gorgeous. And I picked it up for $6, and I was very excited about that. And it's listed in my closet. We'll see. It might take a while to sell, but that is an item that I will probably keep in my closet longer until it sells. I won't give up on it in 3 months. There's other items I have items in my closet that have been there for 2 years that need to go away because they're not selling. And that's something that I've put off doing. So by the end of January, I will be going through my closet, and those items they're being redonated, or I may try Facebook Marketplace and see if they'll sell there. We'll see. Anyway, so those are the brands that I buy, don't buy, and sometimes buy. And that is how you get your sell-through rate, your total amount of listings sold and available. You divide that into your solds, you get a number, you times that by 100. Maybe I'll put up the equation up there. We'll see. If not, it's down below in the comment section or in my description. And yeah, do your numbers, find out what sells for you, find out what's not selling for you, because I think that we tend to go back to the brands we think are really good, and that might actually be hurting your business. That's it for now. I know I babbled a little bit, but I really enjoyed doing the numbers. It was very insightful for me, and it made me feel good about what I was doing and where I was going. And until next time, I hope you all have a good week. Bye.